Back Row Ministry of the World Premier Mr. Makti coming live and direct on this 6th day of November 2017. Shots out to all of you. Shots out to all of you who listen to the word being dropped about the EMP drill, a drill that they were going to try to run game on us and get away with. And I'm happy we came out. We challenged the system on this, and I think we thwarted the efforts of the system this time. No drill was conducted. I made a call to the DOD to complain, and I hope others made a call to the DOD to complain because no drill was ran. But that's how we have to do it. If we're going to beat these guys, we got to come out and start speaking up. Just can't sit on the sideline and be like, oh, well, it's the government and we can't do anything. If this government is supposed to be for the people, then the people have to do something to stand up to it from time to time and say, no, we're not going to tolerate a bunch of BS. So we were able to ward off and thwart off the EMP attack, but be on the watch because these demons have other ways of trying to get their agenda passed. It didn't work this time. And even with it being on the DOD website, you still saw nothing about it on TV. And that's the sad part. They put it on the DOD website about them conducting it, but still did not put anything on TV telling the masses that this was a plan. So this is how these people operate. You have to be very leery of the things they do. And how can you trust people who do this? I mean, they want the people to trust them, but at the same time, they're shady about certain situations and certain events and certain details. So they tried to run a bunch of smoke screens. They had the fake ass shooting in New York, the fake ass, car run them over in New York shit. Had a lot of stuff going on to try to distract us. The Trump shit to try to distract us. But people caught wind of it. People put out the information, and hopefully people stood up to the government and said, we're not going to tolerate this BS because we shouldn't have to. So shots out to people standing up to the government, speaking out, and that EMP drill was thwarted. Real quick, we got another shooting, another mass shooting. I put out my video about the last mass shooting, and I hope you guys did your research on the Mandalay Bay and go talk to a military person who shot weapons like the M60, M240. Ask them some questions about those weapons and get some facts about them. Stop believing everything that's on the idiot box, though. That's one thing we need to start doing. We need to stop believing it just because it's on TV. I mean, they put fake stuff on TV all the time, but just because it's on the news, majority of the time we want to believe it. If you live in certain communities, certain areas, you know that there's a lot of crime that doesn't even make the news, and they're real crimes affecting real people and their lives. You don't see that stuff on the news. Half the time they don't report half the stuff that goes on in a lot of communities. But you see all this other stuff on the news, and it's always the worst mass murder, the worst mass shooting, the worst this, the worst that, and we never have any proof of it. Then the story mysteriously dies out quickly. Watch how quick the New York story is dying. Well, look how quick the New York story is dying. They already moved on to the next mass murder. You know why? Because you people weren't drinking the Kool-Aid. So I'm going to help you not drink the Kool-Aid in this story. And I'm going to tell you how sick and how these people operate. You can say I'm crazy at the end of this video, or you can actually do some research in what I'm going to tell you about. So I want you guys to start researching numerology and how to count up numerology date numbers. So it's a system that you can use to count up the numerology date number for a day, because these people are very much into the worship of numbers and the worship of date numbers. So yesterday was November the 5th. So you take 11 plus 5, you get 16. Let's add 2 to that, you get 18. Let's add 1 to that, you get 19. Or let's add 7 to that, you get your 26. That is your first way of getting a date number. And the date number, one of the date numbers for yesterday was the number 26. Just so happens that the shooter in Texas, Mr. Devin Patrick Kelly, happened to be 26 years old, and the end total of the people he killed happened to be 26 people. This is how these people operate. You can keep trying to see it the way you want to see it. You can keep believing in idiot box, but I'm not making this up. If you go on your internet, type in the numerology date numbers for yesterday, it's going to give you 26. A lot of things you can just match up with the date numbers as they happen. For instance, LeBron James scored 57 points Friday. 57 was a numerology date numbers for Friday. A totally scripted performance by LeBron James. Want to know why? Because the next game they go out and lose to the Atlanta Hawks. They lose the Atlanta Hawks with 115 points. Yesterday, we take 115, 11-5, which is November the 5th, and you get 115. So you got to remember, guys like LeBron, guys like your Kobe's, most of your major stars, your Hardens, these guys are in this network. They will sell you out for some pretzels and peanuts. They don't really care about you. They don't care about how you feel about the team, because at the end of the day, it's about their money, their income, and doing what they have to do to continue their career. So selling out is just a part of it for them. While you take it seriously, they just follow the script. Eli Manning, he's following the script. They told Eli this year, you're not going to do anything. Possibly going to lose this year. Take a break. I mean, you could have a short season, go on vacation early. It's all a script, it's all the actors, it's all a game. And when these fake shootings, it's the same thing. They make up these people. Look at the little towns that these things happen in. This town got 500 people. Look at the towns and places where these stage events happen. Who goes to Southern Texas? I didn't know the place was on the map. Got to be very careful of the stuff you watch on the Idiot Box. The Idiot Box is designed to fool a fool. That's all the Idiot Box does. No matter, even if it's on your local news, you have to watch the story closely. Remember now, they throw another event after another event after another event. This is another gun control event, trying to take guns out of the hands of people who legitimately use guns to protect their family. We want to take those guns away from those people. So that's just the way that they do it. And it's not a Democrat thing. It's a Democrat and Republican thing. Remember now, America's one of the only states, only countries where people can freely carry guns. Most of your countries, that's not allowed. America's one of the only countries where you can do that. You can't do that in England. People just don't walk around with AK-47s in England. So they're trying to take that freedom away from the American people. Why? They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. Why? Because of all the upcoming stuff that's about to take place. They need you to be defenseless. Mr. Motley Back Row Ministry, we're not crazy. We're not crazy. They just want you to think we're crazy. You can go on the website and research numerology numbers, and you can get the numerology numbers from yesterday. Peace.